Watashi wa Manzanar. This is the theme of today's pilgrimage, continuing our civil rights legacy. It was 1942 when Manzanar was the first of the 10 concentration camps to open, the beginning of a terrible injustice incarcerating over 120,000 people of Japanese ancestry. 1969 was the first pilgrimage to Manzanar. Young people, like many of the young people here today, came here seeking answers, not only to their history, but to their identity. 1973, Jean Wakatsuki Houston wrote her wonderful book, Farewell to Manzanar, one of the first publications ever to tell the world about our story. Today, 70 years later, since the actual closing of this camp, we're here together in pilgrimage to say, Watashi wa Manzanar. I am Manzanar. We're here on a healing journey to remember the truth and to tell our story. We're here to claim our history. Watashi wa Manzanar. I am Manzanar. Forced removal from our homes under armed guard to an unknown destination. Imprisoned behind barbed wire fences for an indefinite period of time, with thousands of other innocent people. All of this was an atrocity. What we suffered was trauma, loss of control that is profound and outside of the range of normal human experience. It alters the person's sense of self and view of the world. Captivity is a degrading, powerless experience. We were imprisoned victims, assumed guilty by reason of race. Our perpetrator was our government. The president that we respected signed the executive order that held us as prisoners without rights. Trauma is rife with loss. Not only did we lose our land, property, friends, education, homes, farms, pets, our careers, but most profoundly were the invisible losses of trauma. These are the effects that remain in the hearts and souls of survivors today. We suffered the loss of dignity, of self-determination, of power, of hope, of faith, of possibility, and of pride in being Japanese. Speak of such things. Experts on collective historic trauma say that the human response to such humiliation is to be silent, to distort and diminish the suffering, and even to wipe the memory away in an effort to preserve some sense of dignity. And so it has been many years for our community, our families, our parents, our leaders who struggle to survive by saying farewell to Manzanar. It is the way individuals and communities needed to begin the healing of the searing pain of racism and oppression. It had been necessary to be silent, to focus on the silver lining, to remember our friendships, the ball games, and the gatherings. But it often takes generations for this healing to move beyond staunching the pain, anger, and powerlessness. There was a time we could only say farewell to Manzanar. And doing so, we often gave up our place as true Americans, silenced our voices so as not to cause trouble. We merged our stories with that of the perpetrator using language such as relocation center, evacuation, assembly centers, to do what all trauma victims do, struggle to survive. Many shaped their lives and those of their children to prove that they were 110% loyal Americans. And unconsciously sacrificing what was unique, daring, creative, for fear that their freedom always stood on tenuous grounds. The intergenerational transmission process of trauma is evident today. When we hear people say, "I didn't know," they never said anything, except they talked about the good times. So this silence, this minimizing of the trauma, is the trauma itself. It's the missing piece of our identity, our sense of belonging, our connection with our ancestors, our confusion about embracing our history with knowledge and confidence. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you didn't know. It's not your fault that you didn't know that you too were victims of the trauma, a victim of secondary trauma. Internalizing the unspoken and accepting the government narrative was imposed on you as well. "70 years have passed since the last prisoner walked out of Manzanar. And during these 70 years, slowly but surely, signs of our healing have been evident. The slowly gathering storm of shared voices of the Nisei and Sansei demanding that the injustice of our incarceration be acknowledged and redressed. Slowly, the language of our experience has been challenged, and the narrative of our incarceration is changing. Slowly, our words are landing on our true experience of our family struggles. Evacuation to assembly centers and transfer to relocation centers of alien and non-alien Japanese from the West Coast, we now recognize as deliberate euphemisms that made it possible to compromise our most fundamental rights as citizens and human beings. We are reclaiming our history, sharing our stories, preserving our artifacts, and in doing so, we are shedding our shame, our fear, and giving voice to what was once silenced in our communities. More and more, we are saying no to the language imposed upon us. We are saying no to demonizing those who were dissidents. We are saying no to educational systems that fail to teach about the unjust incarceration. And most recently, we are saying no to people who seek financial gain from auctioning off precious artifacts created in our camps. Today's Manzanar Pilgrimage, Watashi wa Manzanar, continuing our civil rights legacy, signifies a watershed moment in our Japanese-American history. It clearly represents the growing movement over the years, the shifting of our community consciousness from farewell to Manzanar to I am Manzanar. Watashi wa Manzanar. Watashi wa Manzanar means we are writing our narrative. We are telling our story using the language of our truth. We are claiming our loss, suffering, grief, anger, sorrow, and we claim our strength, our resilience, our endurance, giri, gaman, gambatte. We are claiming our Japanese heritage as we go forward in our healing. Watashi wa Manzanar means giving dignity to our history of righteous protest, of dissidence as a legitimate entitlement as American citizens. This journey to Manzanar is a journey to our community healing, as we shed the necessary defenses that have kept our trauma shrouded in silence and acquiescence and fear. Manzanar, with its historic legacy of protest, we are reminded to continue forward with our protest against any group targeted and abused, bullied, and stigmatized. We will challenge the myth that we are the model minority to be held up to other oppressed people in our society. Instead, we will stand in unity as allies, proudly knowing I am Manzanar. Watashi wa Manzanar. We are Manzanar. Watashi tachi wa Manzanar. I'd like us all to recognize the organizers of this event, the National Park Service, the inspired legacy of Sue Kunitomi Embry, the former prisoners and their families, our friends, our compassionate witnesses. All of you have traveled far to be together on this profound healing journey. Let us carry the inspiration of the journey forward. Let's hear it from your hearts and souls. Please repeat after me.